The ZTV Sports Report is a production of ZTV and the School of Communication at the University of Akron. If you want to learn how to make award-winning TV programs, contact the School of Communication at 330-972-7600. If you have questions about ZTV programs, email us or visit us online.
Hi, I'm Coach Dambrot, and you're watching the ZTV Sports Report.
Hi, we're in the Student Union once again. Let's check if students have improved their knowledge on Akron athletics. What is the seating capacity of the in-position stadium?
Oh, I actually know this one. It's about 30,000.
Somewhere around 30,000.
I would say around 10,000.
It's like 30,000-ish, right?
35,000.
How many times did the men's soccer team win the MAC tournament?
Should throw out a guess and say 8.
Ooh.
I think that was like 9.
I have no idea.
I'm gonna go with 5.
What is the name of our basketball arena?
The Jar.
I have no idea.
James A. Road Basketball Arena. James A. Rhodes.
How many team members play in a volleyball game?
6? 6.
6.
7.
6?
What are the dimensions of the tennis court for singles matches?
That one I don't know.
Name the 4 major swimming styles.
Freestyle, backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly.
Backstroke. Breaststroke.
Breaststroke, freestyle, backstroke, and
Butterfly, breaststroke, freestyle.
I'm gonna go with freestyle, backstroke, butterfly.
Well, we're done for today. For the ZTV Sports Report, Ksenia Berestetska.
Great improvement this week, UA students. Great job. Welcome back to the ZTV Sports Report. I'm your host, Sartaj, Aujla. We have covered many of this weekend's past matchups. Now let's complement that with seeing where our Zips currently rank, respectively, in the Mid-American Conference with Kalonna Davis in Quick Zip.
Thanks, Sartaj, and welcome to the 4th edition of Quick Zip, where we take another look at how our Akron Zips are ranking up in the Mid-American Conference for this season. For this time around, I'm Kalonna Davis, and without further delay, let's get started. Passing it over to football, Buffalo has taken over the East with Ohio U right behind them in second. We see hope for our Zips as they have moved up from 7th to 5th place with their 1-4 conference record and their 2-7 overall record. Shooting the ball over to men's soccer, our Zips freely reign at the top with their 4-1-0 conference record, as well as an 11-3-1 overall record. Western Michigan takes second place and Bowling Green sits in third. Kicking into women's soccer, Miami of Ohio is taking over the East with a conference record of 6-1-2. Kent State is falling behind them in second, and our Lady Zips have moved down a spot to 5th place with a 2-6-1 conference record and an overall record of 5-9-3. This week's game ball and play of the week goes to Zips football player number 7, Juwan Chisholm, for bringing in the touchdown after a 65-yard run against Ball State this past weekend. Chisholm finished out the game with 166 rushing yards, which is the 11th time in his career that he's had over a 100 rushing yard game. Football, volleyball, and soccer seasons are swiftly coming to an end, and we all know what that means. Time to break out those jerseys and get ready for some college basketball. Our Akron Zips seasons begin this week with 2 home exhibition games. First up, our men are playing Bluffton University on Friday, and our women's are going up against Lake Erie Saturday afternoon. We also had a chance to zip over to our basketball's media day to hear how our upcoming season will hopes to turn out.
We're looking forward to the season. We've kind of built this program on no excuses and very high expectations, so we have that same approach this year. Really all we try to do is we just basically change the uniforms out every year and different guys come and different guys perform, and they're all good players.
The team has turned to Demetrius Treadwell to be the face of the team, and the banners around campus have certainly left him in awe.
I mean, when I saw it, I was like, that's me. The good feeling, a really good honor. I really don't feel like it's no pressure besides handling myself day in and day out and being the best person I could be.
A big welcome to the team is senior forward Quincy Diggs, who served a year-long suspension and will definitely bring new energy.
Long time, so a year felt like 10 years, but I'm blessed to be back and I had a lot of thinking to do, and I think I'm ready to perform this year as well.
The team has certainly lost a lot of power in Zeke Marshall and Alex Abreu, but Keith Dambrot thinks that this should not slow them down.
Everybody on our team is a better player than they were last year. So, are we going to miss the Zeke Marshalls and the Alex Abreu's and the Chauncey Gilliams and Brian Walsh? Yes, but that's no excuse.
Last season, the Zips were able to make the NCAA tournament, but were handed a devastating loss by VCU due to being short-handed on players.
I don't even worry about that VCU game. I mean, we played under the worst circumstances you could under. We had, besides Alex, we didn't have Walsh, Pat Forsyth, or DG. We knew that had everything gone right now, we could have played with anybody in the country. So we feel the same way this year.
The Zips look primed to go into this next season with a new philosophy at their helm.
You have to have what I call humbled arrogance, right? You have to be arrogant as hell. You got to think you're good, right? But you got to be humble and know that if you don't work hard, you can lose to anybody.
19-game win streak, MAC championship, NCAA playoff berth. These are the accomplishments that the Zips made last season. They certainly have a lot of challenges this season, but with essentially a new team at the helm, they look ready to face any challenge. For the ZTV Sports Report, I'm Sartaj Aujla, but now let's go to women's basketball with Troy Taylor and see how they're faring this season.
After posting the best record in the history of the program last season, the women's basketball team is set for this season's campaign.
We're expecting great things this year. We have 9 returning players. We have 4 new players, as well as a transfer, Tierney Dunnigan from North Carolina State. We don't talk about numbers. We don't talk about wins. We don't talk about stats. We want to get better at every practice. We want to get better every game. We want the non-conference schedule to get us ready for MAC play, and then MAC play to get us ready for the tournament.
Coach Jody Kess knows there will be challenges for this season, and she'll have to rely heavily on leadership from seniors like Rachel Tecca and Hannah Luberg.
Last year, getting to the MAC championship was definitely a big milestone for us, and it just gave us a lot of experience that I think we need for this year. We have a lot of seniors coming back, so we have great leadership, and I think just the experience that we got will really help us out this year in getting back there again.
The ultimate goal is always a MAC championship. That's what we're aiming for, and that's where we're excited to get back to. We want to get back to Cleveland, and we want to play in that MAC championship game.
While there is much upside to this season, Coach Kest and her team know it won't be easy to repeat as MAC East champs.
And we've worked them hard every day in practice and made things difficult at times because it's a little bit different when you're chasing people compared to being chased.
With Rachel Tecca being the reigning MAC Player of the Year and Casey Castle leading the nation in assists, the Zips will look to repeat as MAC East champs and finish their goal last season by winning the MAC tournament. For the ZTV Sports Report, I'm Troy Taylor.
That wraps it up for me in this week's edition of Quick Zip. But the show's not over yet. We head back over to our host for more of the ZTV Sports Report. Sartaj?
Thanks, Kalonna. The men's basketball team is loaded with talent this season, but one particular player, Quincy Diggs, is coming off a suspension and hopes to make some noise this season for the Zips. Kalonna Davis shows us Quincy's determination to make an impact.
For the Zips, the 2012-2013 men's basketball season was an amazing one. Not only did the men once again win MAC title, but they also had the longest winning streak in the NCAA with 19 straight wins. And although things looked up for the Zips last season, they were missing one thing. Two-time varsity player small forward Quincy Q Diggs. But now Q, whom was suspended for a season, is now back and ready to prove himself and make it up to his team as well as his fans.
My hardest part was my life did a 360, so I went to panic mode and I had to find a way to pick myself up and beat the adversity. I'm a man on a mission. That's what KD wants to call it. I agree with him. Like, I got a lot to prove, and I'm just ready to step out on the floor and be a huge effect.
Q's worked really hard at his game. He's worked on all aspects. He's a very good shooter. He's a very good ball handler, very good passer, has the ability to steal the ball. He believes in our system. And I think the most important thing is he's getting that second chance, so he doesn't want to let that get away. I never really thought about him playing with new teammates. I always felt like he's always been part of us, but he's a guy that he's going to adapt well with his teammates. He's a good person, and they're glad to have him back.
The fans, they can affect something like better or quicker. I feel they think I'm way quicker than I was my sophomore year and junior year, so it has to be up to them to see it, but at the same time, I'm just going to see somebody explosive athlete and making people better.
With basketball season just around the corner, look out, Zips fans. Quincy Q Diggs is back. For the ZTV Sports Report, I'm Kalonna Davis.
2 segments down and 1 more to go. When we come back, we have another great edition of Match Point, and we take a look at what the latest with Akron's tennis team. Don't move. You are watching the ZTV Sports Report. We'll be right back.